40-something years ago. My husband was in the Navy. And so my mom said to me, when you start having kids, when I'm on my work vacation, I am going to come and visit you wherever you are, because I want my grandchildren to know their grandma. I want them to know who I am. My mom loved family, and she was excited about the prospect of having grandchildren. And so sure enough, we got stationed in Honolulu, Hawaii at the Pearl Harbor Naval Base, and my mom scheduled her vacation so she could be there when I was ready to give birth to our first child. I was due sometime in October, and so my mom scheduled her vacation for 2 weeks after that. We figured that should work fine. That's just in case I was a little overdue. She would get there and still be able to have time to meet this new grandchild. So the end of October, my mom shows up on the plane. We go pick her up, and there I am to greet her with this huge, big whale-like a belly. I was huge, and I waddled like a duck. But we still had a great time. We had all these plans, so we took her around the Pearl Harbor to see the museum. We took her to my favorite place, Polynesian Cultural Center, where they have all these little villages inside set up like all the different Polynesian islands, and students who are from those islands, so you can experience a taste of their lifestyle and their culture. It's a beautiful place. And then we went to Diamond Head, and we figured, if we go walk around, inside the crater for a little bit, surely that should get something moving and something happening. And we laughed as we talked about what we would do if I actually did end up going into labor while we were up there at Diamond Head. But no labor, and so we went all over Oahu and nothing. And so the week came for Mom to go back to New York, and we were so sad to see her go, and sad that she didn't get to meet the baby. It wasn't until a week later that I went into labor and my first son was born. So then a few years later, we were stationed in Norfolk, Virginia, and Mom again made a plan to come when I was due to have our next child. So I think she came like a week after, which turned out to be perfect. She came, we had my son's birthday party, and then the next day I went into labor and had new granddaughter. So Mom got to be there a few days with the baby. It was great to be able to have some help. That was awesome. Now, my dad was not fond of flying. We would say, Dad, when are you going to come with Mom? Come to see us? And he'd be like, I'm not getting on a plane. Now, Dad had been in the Korean War. And I don't know if he had to take one of those military cargo planes or whether he took a civilian jet plane, but he was not getting on a plane. So my kids would have to wait until we visited home, which we did often, to see them and spend time with Grandpa, but not flying. So we got stationed in California, and my youngest son was born there, and Mom came out to beautiful sunny California, and we just had a great time showing her around, and she had a great time spoiling the kids. She comes with gifts all the time. And so then a few years after that, we got stationed in the Caribbean at the U.S. Navy base in Antigua. We were all so excited about that. My husband was from the Caribbean originally, and so we were used to hearing stories of what it was like for him growing up, and we were excited for the kids to be able to experience that. So Mom made a plan to come out and visit us, and I was excited about that because that would be her first time traveling internationally. She would have to get a passport, so that was really cool. And so when the day came, I'd go over to the airport to pick her up, and I see Mom coming out, and she is smiling, and we're excited, and we embrace and hug, and we go in to get baggage from the baggage claim. And as we're walking, all of a sudden my dad comes around the corner, and I am flabbergasted. I stop in my tracks, and I'm like, what? How in the world did you get Dad here? How in the world did you keep this a secret? I'm sure my eyes were bulging. I was so flabbergasted, I couldn't believe it. Mom and Dad were so excited that they were able to pull that off without us finding out about this huge surprise. And I thought, oh, this is going to be the best time ever. So now we rush and we grab the bags and we get in the car. We have Dad sit in the back and Mom sit in the front. And we drive over to the naval base. And Mom gets out first. And everybody, comes out. And they're all happy and greeting Tutu, which is what everyone called my mom. It's Hawaiian for grandmother. And then my husband goes to get the bags out of the trunk. And my dad pops out. And oh my goodness, again, just laughter and craziness and excitement. And I'm just like, wow, this is going to be the best time ever. When we were growing up as kids, my parents never went on a vacation. Vacation meant when we got out of school, my parents took us to South Carolina to stay with family for the summer. That way they didn't have to worry about a sitter. And then they would come back home and work and then come back and pick us up at the end of the summer and stay a week to visit. And that was vacation, always. But this was real vacation. They were going to get to travel and have fun and eat out and no responsibility, just carefree. We're so excited. So we took them to our favorite beaches. And often when we would go to the beach, we would just go snorkeling and come back. But usually once a week, we would spend a whole day at the beach and we would take this black, little small portable barbecue grill with us. And we would take all the usual suspects, the towels, the bathing suits, the snorkeling gear, and a pot of Caribbean rice and beans to go with the fish that my husband and son would catch when they went spearfishing. A bunch of excitement. And so here we go. We take them and we go to one of our favorite beaches, and we get all set up and we go snorkeling and we come back in, and then my husband and son go spearfishing and they come back with the fish and they prepare it, put it on the grill. And then we just sit and hang out and just enjoy eating. And my parent, the kids going back and forth to swim a little bit in between. That was life for us for a lot of the time we were there. We took them to this beautiful place called Shirley Heights. When it was under the British had Shirley Heights, it was a lookout and a military fortress. The lookout has been restored, and it's a restaurant and a bar. And Shirley Heights is an overlooking beautiful, picturesque Nelson's dockyard with the beautiful cerulean blue waters and white sails dotting the water where the sailboats are parked, and the most fantastic yachts I have ever seen come there, especially during sailing week. And so Mom and Dad, got to enjoy a virgin pina colada with little umbrellas in it, something they never do. And it was just so much fun to watch them enjoy the scenic areas and enjoying new things together and having fun and laughing. And with the kids, it was awesome. We took them to Devil's Bridge, which is a spot where there's limestone bridges, long bridge, where the water, the power, the force of the water has made it into a bridge by breaking away at the limestone. And it's just, the color of the water there is just phenomenal. Blue and clear skies all the time, and water spouting out of water holes. But it has a very sad history because of slavery in the islands, and Antigua being a big sugar producer during slavery. It was said that a lot of the slaves would, when they could get away, would run and then jump off the bridge, committing suicide, tragically. And so my parents, we just enjoyed sharing those things with them, sharing just all that the kids were learning. My dad took the kids fishing on the base at the pier. They got to show him the stingrays that hang around there at night and under the light. Just the best time ever. We were so sad when they had to leave, and we were just so honored and glad that they were able to have this time together with us. Memories. It was the best time ever. And now here we are, 2004, 4 years after 2020, and I think about these things a lot because my parents lived in Long Island and two of my brothers lived in the house with them. And during this time, 4 years ago, my older brother and both of my parents were in the hospital with COVID. My brother on a ventilator. And my mom passed away first. And then about 5 days after that, my father passed away. And on the same day my dad passed away, my brother was taken off the ventilator. And, I just remember when I'd ask my dad if he's coming to see us, and he would say, well, if life lasts, and I would just turn my head and roll my eyes like, all right, Dad. But now I get it. If life lasts. Because tomorrow isn't promised to us. We don't know what tomorrow holds. And so I hope that you will take time to make precious memories with your family and your loved ones. My mom and went out of the way to make memories with our kids, and my dad too, when we would visit home and him taking them fishing. You just don't know what's going to happen. Take time to make memories. I'm excited that in a month I'll be going to Kenya on a mission trip again, and my older brother who had COVID is joining me. So excited to be able to share that with him. I know my parents would be. I know they're looking down and they're proud. Yep. Yikes.